All right, here we are. SushiSwap launches, stealing all of Uniswap's liquidity. Binance crashes. We're going to tech into that. The IRS is putting out a bounty for anyone who can assassinate Monero and Fluffy Pony. And we've got $600 million worth of Bitcoin up for grabs. Welcome to another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Let's go.
I'm Naomi Brockwell for NBTV, and this is Breaking Bitcoin.
That's right. You got to ask yourself what you did this bull season. One topic we were talking about yesterday in the mentoring session was how well have you done so far? You know, kind of what are your results so far from the 2020 bull run? And, you know, you got to be very, very satisfied with the results of your trading. This goes into not comparing yourself to anybody. So you just have to look back, you know, for example, like some people purchased houses, some people purchased Lamborghinis. I got to hang out with Naomi Brockwell. You know, it's like gives and takes and everything. So, hey, guys, hopefully you guys are doing fantastic for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Today is Thursday, September 10th, 2020, where we find ourselves. Got some green coming out of the markets, was a good thing to see. This is what we've been kind of pushing and looking along, continuing to play this bounce. Probably expecting the next 2 days as we get closer to these price targets to apply more hedges. But we're going to talk about SushiSwap. We're going to talk about Binance. We're going to talk about $600 million of Bitcoin up for grabs if you are hackically inclined, and overall the state of the market. Let me know how you guys are doing in the chats. Of course, we are live every single day at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the States, broadcasting you live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, and on Roku with the Investor News Channel app. And apologies, I know we've been starting late, but I switched the entire office around. You guys can't really see it yet. I'm only about maybe 33% done. I just got the bare bones set up. I've got all the monitors. I've got the computer where I like it. I've got the lighting how I like it. I got the camera set up. I've got all this stuff kind of nicely and organized. And because I wasn't able to finish the backdrop, it's terrible back there. There's bodies hung up and, you know, like the blood of old bull seasons and bear markets. We'll get it all cleaned up and you guys will see the nice backdrop. So we're going to be nice, tight shot in. Hopefully you guys are okay with the face. I think you are. You guys tend to watch every single day. So, all right, let's get going. Let me see if the social links will work. I do have some elements that weren't working, so let's just cross our... Oh, there we go. You can follow us on the socials. Of course, make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. And typical YouTuber stuff, if you guys smash the like, subscribe, it helps the channel out. Let's get going with today's update, because I want to get right into kind of the sushi story and get started in that fashion. So, let's go. Almost, so close. There we go. And we're back. All right, so our first thing I want to cover today, just so we can get this out of the way. Snap, crackle. Is there something wrong with the microphone? Listen, when you say something like snap, crackle, pop, Brett, you know, you just got to get, you get a little, I tend to get a little sensitive, insecure about the sound of my audio. Shout out to everybody watching in the chat. We've got Brian B, Jake Rezio, Only the Best, Midwest Attempts, Yorick, Prophet, Bear, Mr. Ether, Peckham. We've got the Restream Bra holding it down. No, that's Rhino TD. Ali, we've got Peckham, Mr. Unicorn, Challenged Investor, Blue Box, B-Flow, Goblin, Moblin, and Philly from Manchester. Good to see you. He says it's the weekend over there in Manchester. Listen, we're cryptocurrency traders, brother. It's Saturday every day. All right. Okay, so first story is SushiSwap. Let's get into this. Let's see what we got. What do I want to talk about? So our main story today is going to be a follow-up on the Uniswap fork. Obviously, we've talked about SushiSwap cut a little bit. So let me get this up. Okay, cool. Yep, no problem. So we're going to follow up on SushiSwap. Now, we covered this earlier this week amidst the drama surrounding the founder, Chef Nomi, exit scamming. There's really no other word for it. But he exited the project just a week after its release. And by release, I mean 2 weeks after the project was forked and everybody got hyped to mine these food tokens. And he got away with $13 million. So, you know, you got to ask yourself, what did you do this bull season? You know what I mean? I got to hang out with Naomi Brockwell. Some people bought houses. Some people bought Lambos. Some people walked away with $13 million. Be sure to check out our coverage from earlier this week to get caught up on that. We'll leave a link in the description. And when I redo this video later on, if you happen to be watching this not live, it's going to be right up here, one of these. It's going to be in a corner. You know, you can click on it. It'll be a nice little link. So But the latest development in the Sushi saga appears pretty positive, actually, because SushiSwap has actually launched. They've migrated away from Uniswap, and they've formed their own protocol. Well, they already had their own protocol, but the exchange seems to be functioning to some degree. Now, in the process, it drained $1 billion in assets overnight from the token swapping platform that it was cloned from, of course, that being Uniswap. So, the question is SushiSwap setting up to be a major success? Does this mean Uniswap's days are numbered? Short answer, no. But we will take a closer look at the latest that is unfolding in the DeFi space. So the DeFi darling, let's scroll down here a little bit. The DeFi darling known as Uniswap. Let's get here. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one right here. The DeFi darling known as SushiSwap did manage to successfully spin off into its own platform following a protocol migration away from Uniswap. And in the process, again, they took quite a lot of liquidity with them. That's going to give SushiSwap perhaps the adequately named moniker of DeFi vampire. But, some are going to make the argument that that's not really fair, that the vampire narrative isn't true, and that Uniswap's total value locked TVL, so the amount of money that people have locked into the Uniswap protocol, was inflated moving up into the SushiSwap drama, but we'll dive into that a little bit later. We'll actually look at the numbers. But it's important to point out that DeFi obviously is driven by demand from users for yield farming, and to get through the process of yield farming, you acquire other tokens which you can turn around and sell. So these are dividends, right? These are crypto dividends that you can essentially sell. There's really no other way to put it. And in this case, farmers are clearly currently it seems, on the quest for more sushi. Now, for those of you who have been living under a rock and don't know what Uniswap is, it is the open source one-stop shop Ethereum swapping protocol to get rich as a degenerate, an automated market maker platform that also just loves charging you $50 to come in and come out. Now, it launched nearly 2 years ago. It did get a small grant from the Ethereum Foundation, but of course it has grown to overtake Coinbase in daily trading volume on most days. April 2019, it really got its first boost because venture capital stepped in and threw money into it. And of course, that is the whole sushi thing, because in the background on Uniswap, there's a lever that they can flip, which would divert 17% of all LP rewards to the founders, essentially, right? To the investors, to the Uniswap team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And SushiSwap's only claim to fame was that they had forked the code and just rewritten that one little bit that said, well, when that lever's flipped, that 17% is instead going to go to whoever holds these worthless tokens that I just printed out of thin air called sushi. Now, Uniswap has, of course, evolved to be the largest DEX in the space, decentralized exchange, and it is the central figure of DeFi and the trading scene at the current moment. And SushiSwap, on the other hand, like I said, it's only a week old, and it is... It does seem, the question is it going to be ready to climb to the top of the DeFi exchange heap? I mean, you guys have seen what YFI has done. By the way, you want a secret? If I print 30 tokens and pay myself $50,000 for that token, congratulations, I have the largest market capitalization coin in existence. Statistics don't lie, but liars use statistics, okay? Let's see here. So Sushi seems to be offering LPs, liquidity providers, the best deal at the current moment. And for the time being, users are flocking to the platform, to the Sushi platform, to take advantage of the early mining rewards for liquidity, so providing liquidity. So late yesterday, Sushi successfully migrated away from Uniswap, and the move was spearheaded by the new head chef in the kitchen. This is the, of course, CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, also known as SBF Alameda on Twitter. Make sure you guys go follow him. Good guy. Let's check out our first little piece. This is SBF posting on Twitter the sushi migration plan, hashtag not investment advice. He says in about 1 hour, the migration is going to unlock, and then he links us to the Zippo information for sushi. Let's get my links up here. So on Twitter, here's the official migration process. You can see that the Curve Ethereum pool was the first to be migrated and tested. It was then followed by a pool-by-pool migration of all the other assets that we would want to put over on Sushi. Now, to further incentivize individuals to actually come over to Sushi to keep their collateral on the newly migrated platform, SBF threw an additional 2 million Sushi tokens into the pot to be divided among the early stakers, and this really did help incentivize this feeding frenzy that we saw. That seemed to have the desired effect, and of course it ramped up migration from Uniswap to the new decentralized exchange. Now, let's go see what DeFi Pulse has to say about this. Now, while SushiSwap is not yet officially listed on DeFi Pulse, it does have its own analytics front end available here, which and you can get this at sushiswap.vision. Now, this would seem to show that there are about $1.2 billion in assets currently staked on the Sushi platform. There is... Now, apparently, there is a new website and analytics dashboard that we can access, and it reports the current liquidity is actually 1.28 billion, so higher than the number that's actually reported here. But in either way, control of the platform is going to be governed, has been governed by a new multi-signature wallet, and control of that, or being able to unlock that wallet or spend from that wallet, gives administrative rights for the protocol. It's very similar to Yearn Finance. It has a 6 of 9 multi-sig wallet, which again doesn't really mean anything if you don't know who holds those private keys. You know, like for example, I have multi-signature wallets. I have multi-signature wallets that I know have private keys that different individuals hold. For example, I know I only have 1, and in some cases 2 or 3 of 4 of 6s or 6s of 9s. But just because somebody says that there's a multi-signature wallet doesn't mean anything if you don't know how those private keys are distributed among individuals, right? So let's see here. So the way that it is laid out is that governance of the protocol, the Sushi protocol, is going to be managed and accessed by 9 candidates, and any action is going to require 6 of those 9 administrators to agree, or $5 wrench tech. So let's go look at. This is the results of the voting process for Sushi's new administrators. And unsurprisingly, those top 9 candidates are all Sushi whales who are now going to be heading up governance at the decentralized exchange, of course, in order. We have SPF Alameda, L. Leshner, pretty prolific writer, 0x Maki, who was the original administrator of their holdings, Lawmaster, CMS Holdings, Mattisino, Mick Hagan, Adam Skokoran, and Long Vuong 22. That's no jokes. Okay. Let's go. Now, of course, Uniswap is on DeFi Pulse. Let's go look at the DeFi Pulse stats for Uniswap. Did Uniswap actually get vampired $1 billion? Well, we do see it briefly held the top spot for total value locked, but Uniswap has dumped down to 9th place with a 75% loss in liquidity. Indeed, over $1.2 billion seems to have left Uniswap, bringing its TVL down to about $350 million. Oh, how the mighty fall, clambering its way back up to 660 million actually right now. So it is kind of rising quite quickly as this drama unfolds right this moment. So now let's go take a look at a tweet from Andre Crony. For those of you who aren't aware, this is the mastermind behind Yearn Finance. Now he objects to this narrative that Sushi stole over $1 billion in liquidity from Uniswap. So he is saying that if you look at Uniswap's total value locked before and after SushiSwap came out, exit scammed, and now launched, it's largely unchanged. It was around 350 million just a few weeks before the SushiSwap frenzy kicked off, and it's back around that figure today after the Sushi, let's say, has been digested. So this massive spike in liquidity over the past week or so only came about because of the hype that Sushi was drawing. And of course, yield farmers are going to be incentivized to just be on an absolute mission to acquire as much of this early Sushi liquidity as they could get their hands on in order to deposit onto the Sushi DEX for the launch. And of course, that brings in a massive wave of deposits for individuals' bids to claim as many of those LP tokens as possible so that they can flip them almost as soon as possible. However, keep in mind, Uniswap V3 is on the way. And it's possible and even likely that Uniswap is going to revamp their reward system to lure those liquidity providers back. Regardless of how long that liquidity stays in the Sushi system, I would argue probably not super long, although stranger things have happened. This is the world we live in, right? So for a while there, for like the last 3 months, you guys went to a platform with a unicorn as a logo, and now you will go to a platform with a Sushi as the logo. And when your friends ask you, what do you do for a living? I flip DeFi coins on SushiSwap. We need to get Uncle Justin professional medical help. He's in here talking about sushi, and welcome to my life. Now, You guys remember, currently on Uniswap, you only get 0.3% of the trading fee, and there's no additional native token drops or incentives. But Uniswap has a big ace up their sleeve in the fact that they have never launched their own token. So if they launch their own LP token, I think that... anyways, so in the end, this SushiSwap hype may have been good for the wider ecosystem as a whole. It certainly brought a lot of interest into DeFi that may have not already be there. That's why we had a blow off top. Because it was when retail decided to finally come in that people were like, oh, it's time to dump on these fools. But the reality is that although many have postulated over the last few weeks that the liquidity is going to fragment between the two decentralized exchanges, it does seem that the net result is just growing the DeFi pie in general. So again, going back to Andre's supposition here, that the only reason that additional liquidity came into the market was because of Sushi coming up, that really Uniswap's TVL was largely unchanged. So this is just brand new capital in the market, in the DeFi system. And as long as a good fraction of it remains, this is just good for the space because it's more money sloshing around the system, i.e. more opportunity, i.e. more liquidity. And this draws in more users, this draws in more assets into both Uniswap and SushiSwap. So overall a good thing. Now, as for the token price of Sushi, now, it did slump about 80% from its all-time high. This is, of course, before Chef Nomi decided to exit scam. Price only fell another 50% after he bounced out. But Sushi prices haven't managed to recover that much in the wake of the migration. Remember, the catalyst is actually to really sell at the current moment. But we're going to look at the price because there's ways to play this. There was a slight creep up to about $3 a few hours ago, but prices... and we're going to look at it here in just a second. At the time that we put this together, prices were about $2.87 according to Uniswap. And that means that Sushi's price is still down 62% for the week. Now, it is very, very possible that Sushi tokens are still, at this current point in time, extremely overvalued because they're hype-driven, and that hype is now over, even at the current cooled-off levels of Sushi. And again, if we look at Sushi's tokenomics, their economics of their token, it's inflationary, right? Meaning that you need to see, if something is inflationary, then you need to see massive demand, a catalyst, or increasing trading volume over to sustain token prices anywhere near, well, let's just look at Sushi, anywhere near previously high prices. But I have to take a deeper dive into those tokenomics specifically. And of course, a lot of this depends on the decision of the governance council before we could draw any hard conclusions on that. But what we do know for certain is that the DeFi space is evolving very quickly. And whether or not SushiSwap is going to defeat Uniswap, I would highly argue that they most likely will not. Still remains to be seen. But at the moment, things are pretty promising for the space, with V3 on the way for Uniswap and SushiSwap bringing a lot of excitement in the space. But, overall, I highly recommend individuals let that frenzy pass, objectively and calmly determine the opportunities that are out there and take a good look. So with that, I'm not going to select any crowned winners of the decentralized battle. I think that's a losing strategy. So let's check out the price of Sushi over here. All right, so I had posted about Sushi several evenings ago in the Discord, and we're going to one thing that I noticed from on-chain analysis is that, and we'll see if I can actually get this pulled up on Santiment. So here's SushiSwap, and we'll see if things have changed, because we can do on-chain holder distribution. Great. Okay, here we go. So let's take a look at holder distribution for Sushi here. Now, a couple days ago, it must have been the 8th of September. So let's just creep this back. I wish there was, that's the second, 3, 4, 5. See, I wish this was just a little. Oh, come on. It's like dating my ex, right? You can't just like bump it forward a little bit. Like every single issue has to be just all the way over to the right, all the way over to the left. Okay. So let's go ahead and take off the mini holders. We'll just go ahead and take everybody off, except for the 10 million to infinity coins. And this has increased from 2 to 4 actually. Now again, who's going to hold? Let's pull up CoinGecko and look at Sushi here. Number 64, all right? 64. Market capitalization of 220 million. Circulating supply, 90 million out of 93 million. So 3 million. 3 million more to be made. And again, it has an inflationary token economic model. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of room to grow. SushiSwap, look at Chainlink, right? Now, again, Chainlink grew slowly, but really Chainlink did a Bitcoin, right? So Chainlink went from what? $8 to $20, $18. Very, very, very quickly. So you saw that market capitalization go from 500 million to 5 billion. Very, very quick, within a matter of months. So certainly the opportunities are out there. So what if SushiSwap were to go to $2 billion market capitalization driven on this hype very quickly, like over the next month or two? Okay, well, that's a 10x, right? You're looking at a potential 10x. So again, $30 price target, not really insane. Just seeing what, just seeing, right? I listen, they're probably all watching right now. I do live streams on YouTube. I'll say this about my personal life, and then I'll digress. I don't have anything negative to say about my exes, and they don't have anything negative to say about me. I have a firm policy of not saying negative things about people that have been in my life. Just no point for it. Makes life easier. Everybody's living their own best life, and people are awesome. All right. Now, it could be considered that what I said was negative about her, but again, it's because you haven't heard me say the positive things about her. All right. Okay. So what we were looking at. All right. But we want to look at, all right. So is it possible that people are holding with 90 million, is it possible that people have a $10 million deposit that are not exchanges? Well, of course. Let's go back over to sentiment. Okay, so individuals holding 10 million or more, meaning that they have, more than 1/10, what about 13% of total supply? That's 4. So we can see this if we go to the Explorer and look at top holders. 30 million right here. 16 million, 11 million, 10 million. So four addresses that have more than 10 million, right? And 27 million of that, hold on, let's see here. So 30, 46, 55, 65. All right, so about 65. So about 65 million, so about 2/3 of total supply is controlled by 4 addresses. All right, now let's see if this is, I'm assuming these are, so it's going to, I don't have the information right in front of me. I'm going to have to do some diving, but I'm going to assume that these are not individuals, but the liquidity pools potentially for Uniswap and SushiSwap. Uniswap and SushiSwap. I can't confirm that, but I'll let you guys know. However, we do know that Binance and Huobi are here. So again, exchanges and largely protocols. So then that means we've got the MasterChef LP staking pool with almost 3.3 million. And then we've got more exchanges and more exchanges. Okay. And then FTX itself holding only 313,000. So again, quite a lot there, a lot of liquidity. And then we get into the smaller holders. So the fact that we've seen the largest hodlers increase here from 2 to 4 doesn't really mean anything except for the fact that a exchange has been launched and more exchanges are supporting it. So that doesn't tell us anything. All right, so 1 million to 10 million. All right, so these are going to be your baby whales and even smaller exchanges. This has gone down from 6 to 4, indicating some distribution right there. What do we see here as of the 8th, as of 2 days ago? We're seeing 100,000 to 1 million. So these are really going to be the largest, I'd say, investors in whales. So we went from 30 down to 23. So almost a 1/3 drop in that level of hodler. 10,000 to 100,000. These are going to be your pretty average retail big dick whales. This is moving down from 173 to 138, so pretty significant drop there. 1,000 to 10,000. So this is going to be pretty high value retail, staying pretty stable. And of course, what do we see the guppies doing? Buying more. This doesn't look like massive distribution. It looks like individuals are taking advantage of a price surge. So I'm hesitant to give a firm, I'm hesitant to really say this means anything. I see more distribution than accumulation, certainly at this price. But however, I'm going to couch that with the fact that price isn't falling off a cliff, or excuse me, holders aren't falling off a cliff. And on top of that, you've got hype, right? So hype can drive markets far more than any technical can. That's not really what I mean. catalysts move markets. Catalysts move markets, and you certainly have potential catalyst here. I don't see a 10x out of question for sushi. I mean, within the next 3 to 6 months, to be quite honest with you. What's also potentially possible is that that sushi just fails absolutely but the likelihood of that becomes a little bit less when you bring in the involvement of Alameda, when you bring in the involvement of FTX, and when you kind of look at the decisions that were made for the list of holders here. You've got, again, I wouldn't say that this is the most decentralized governance list ever made, but it's not like these guys are all CZ, so it's not too bad. I think that we can do some okay things with sushi here. Now, do I think it's a cool project? I mean, no. Fundamentally, I'm not really into the yield farming for the sake of yield farming. It's not a sustainable model or sustainable system. So investment, absolutely not. Positional trade, well, let's look at the price of sushi here. It's pretty cheap relative to where it's run up to. So even if sushi were just to run back up to its all-time high, you're looking at almost a 10x. Well, excuse me, almost a 6 to 7x. So a risk to reward here is relatively decent. What's your max downside? $100. So full disclosure, I have 2 Ethereum worth of sushi. 2 Ethereum worth of sushi. I'm gonna get that's the moonshot. All right. And we'll keep you guys updated on it. All right. You guys are blowing me away with the questions. So any thoughts on that? What do you guys think? Is anybody else holding sushi? Are you guys taking advantage of the yield farming? Are you guys taking advantage of, I don't know, the migration and liquidity? Have you migrated your liquidity over to SushiSwap? Do you think that's the bigger deal? Do you think that's a good idea? I mean, personally, I don't like to mess with a good thing. And when Uniswap has been solid and steady, the idea of migrating to a new platform just so I can earn useless tokens? Well, not useless, certainly. They're worth $2.36. And if you can get 1,000 of them, that's $2,360. Taking everybody out for dinner this weekend. All right. Let's take a pause here, give you guys an update on on just my personal trading above and beyond SushiSwap, kind of what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to show you guys, if you guys don't mind, a little bit of chart prawn. So we were looking at the divergences in the things me and Jason get up to when we're just if you guys want to know if you guys want to see an exchange to trade on, if you want to trade a volatile exchange, go trade on BitBay. All right. So this is the price of Bitcoin on BitBay. This is the price of Bitcoin on Coinbase. And we can see here that FTX and Coinbase are darn near identical. Okay. Bitstamp and let's see here. Bitstamp is similarly identical with Coinbase and FTX. Bitfinex diverges from the herd, and but nothing so much as BitBay. Nothing so much as BitBay. Let's see here. Let me look at Peckham's question. He says, I'm hodling $6.05 sushi times 24. Okay. In the blue diamond. When it dumped, I longed every dip at $2.50 sushi at $5 a time and took $20 here and there. Total 110 profit. When should I sell hodling? Technically, it's free, right? So, if I'm understanding you right, brother, you're saying that you bought 24 sushi at $6.05. So, currently, you're creamed. It's all right. I get creamed all the time. And you longed every dip. Well, okay. At $5 a time. Wait, so, I mean, let's see here. Okay, well, the answer here is you say you have $110 in profit. So if you just sell everything right now, you need to know your average entry and your average position size, and you'll be able to calculate if you sold at this moment in time, what would your P&L be? So if that number is less than 110, then yes, you're walking away in profit. And if that number is larger than 110, then you would be walking away and he's like, yes, I'm correct. Then you'd be walking away and lost. So yeah, I don't think there's anything, when you say technically it's free, I mean, no, there's no such thing in the world that's free. Like, so like, I'm just saying, if you were to sell now, you would incur a steep loss. So depending relative to this is a good point. Actually, let me say, hopefully this is the question you're answering, because this is the question I'd like to answer, or hopefully this is the question you're asking, because this is the question I'd like to answer. Hi guys, step into my trading room. When you are as I am, then when you put money into the market, either price is going to go in your favor or it's going to go against your favor. And as cryptocurrency is volatile, and really that doesn't even matter, the cryptocurrency is volatile. It could happen with bonds. It could happen with airline stocks. It could happen with Forex. It could happen with options. It can happen with the safest thing. It could happen with investing in your friend who's opening up an auto shop down the street. Price can go up or price can go down. Either you can be in profit or you can be in loss. Okay. So because those two things are always a reality, when you put on a trade, you have to know, when do you intend to sell? When do you intend to get out? Right? You have to know those things. Now, you do not need to have perfect answers. Like, all right, I am buying Apple at $12.50 and I am going to sell at $17.99 on the dot, not a cent lower. That's a good answer, but you don't need that, right? What I would recommend you do is what I do. Let's say I bought sushi around $2. So my plan is, if sushi goes to 20, I'm going to sell half and let the rest ride. Okay. Maybe the answer is, if sushi goes to 10, I'll sell half and let the rest ride. If sushi goes to 12, right? And at what point do you pull your initial investment out? Right? When it doubles, when price just goes up relative to the amount of money you put in, when the profit is equal to the principal is a good rule of thumb, right? So let's say you put $1,000 into a trade, and if you go up $1,000, then it would be time to pull your principal out, right? So you pull $1,000 out, you've recompensated yourself for the sake of the investment, and now you can do whatever you really like. You let it ride. I would recommend taking profit, 20, 30, 50, 50, 30, 20, 50 all in, all out, 50, 50. So take 50 profit at 1 ATR, move along. So these are all strategies. But if you have the answer to that question when you put the trade on and then you write it down, then when you get to the moment where either you're in great profit and greed's kicking in, or you're in great loss and fear is kicking in, you will stick to the plan. Now, when it comes to positional trades and holding like little BS like this on Uniswap, well, listen, you don't know. And you have to be satisfied with that answer. I don't know. Sushi could pump up here to $20 and then collapse back down and trade between $1 and $3 for the next 2 years until the next cycle where it kicks up off again. Or it could correct down to like 30 cents and trade in the 30 to 50 cent range until the next market cycle, and it kicks up to maybe a max of 250, right? I don't know. So to the degree, so now that we've talked about what one should do, let's talk about what to do in this moment. How much money is it, bro? And what would you do with that money were it sitting in cash? Let's just ignore the fact that it was at one time more money, right? Doesn't matter. It's this amount of money now. What would you do with that money if it was just sitting in your wallet or sitting in your ledger and you could allocate it? Like, what would you do with it? Right? Do you need that money to pay bills? Do you need that money to make an investment or like purchase a house or a car? Do you want to go on a vacation? Is there something else that's attractive that you would like to put your money into? To what degree is the loss less attractive? To what degree is the potential reward for holding the coin more attractive than the opportunity of what you could do with that capital elsewhere? Okay. And if you have a firm answer like, hey, I can do this with this capital, I can do this right now, and I got a good idea for it, it's got a good plan, good strategy, then I would sell. Fuck it. Take the loss, go do something else. Because right now, and no offense, this isn't personal to you, but anybody who's ever in the history of trading been like, man, I'm down in this position, what do I do? Well, you're not doing anything right now but sitting around and looking at the chart. You know what I mean? So if you have something else over here that is a better plan than just sitting around doing nothing, because sitting around doing nothing wasn't your original plan. If your original plan was, I'm going to buy sushi, I don't care if it goes to 0, and if it goes to 20, I'm going to take my profit. Okay, well, that's a plan. So then, but if that were your plan, you wouldn't be asking like, well, what should I do? Because you would just be following your plan. So your plan was clearly, I'm going to enter and hopefully it goes up, and it didn't go up and now it's down. What do I do? Well, if you have a better idea, I would recommend doing that. If you have no better idea, then I just hodl, right? I think probably that's the best advice anyways, just hodl onto the position, right? Similar, but unless you have a good idea with that strategy, right? Like back in 2018, this happened to a lot of people. They bought Dash, they bought Monero, they bought Litecoin, they bought Ripple, they bought blah, 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 blah. And now those prices are nowhere near the highs of 2018, and they might never, ever be again. And at some point in 2018, they would have thought to themselves, man, should I hold on to this or should I sell? Well, as we play the tape forward, we can see that it probably would have been better if they sold, right? However, many projects where people bought tops in 2018, if they waited until now, or at least about 2 weeks ago, they finally had the opportunity to make some cash, right? So hodling is usually the best situation. I don't like telling people to hodl worthless junk coins when I have no opinion about them. Go hodl Bitcoin. That's my suggestion to you. If you're just going to hodl something you don't know what to do, go hodl Bitcoin, go hodl Ethereum, because those, I feel very confident when I recommend that, because those will make you money. I don't know if their SushiSwap is going to make you money. I have absolutely no idea. It's highly speculative. But if you don't need the money and you don't have a good plan for it, hodling is probably in your best interest. Yeah. Hopefully that didn't come off intense. I just want to qualify that. I absolutely love you. I make mistakes all the time. That was a fantastic question, and it's a good answer. You know what I mean? It's a good question. I mean, whether it's a good answer is dependent on you, but yeah, certainly I've been in that situation many times. Everybody has. Nobody's perfect. Just note that, write it down, and remember that it's fun to like swing into Uniswap and like start throwing money at tokens. It's fun, okay? Especially when everything's pumping. But that only works if the market's going up in one direction, right? The moment the market corrects, you and just about everybody else is going to be sitting around, like looking around like, fuck, what do we do? What do we do? Fuck. It's not a fun place to be. It is not a fun place to be. All right. Fucking, I'm gonna buy some sushi right now. What's my plan with my fun coin? You mean Funfair? Look, dude, I'm committed now, dude. I've been hodling that shit down into the ground for years, dude. It's either gonna go to zero or not, because I don't have a better idea for the money, right? And because I told myself when I bought Funfair, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy Funfair, and it's either gonna make money or it's gonna go to zero. I probably put about, let's see here. I can look it up, but just to give you guys an idea. All right, so hopefully, if anything, this might hopefully make you guys feel better. Oh, sorry, here we go. Okay, so this is the weekly chart of Funfair, and I bought Funfair the second week it came out, or when it was listed on Binance anyways. And actually, I have to go back because I had an allocation prior to that. Yeah, let's go look at... so let's just go look at market capitalization. Okay. So, all right. So I bought Funfair when it came out. I remember it was like November and October of 2017 that I made the largest allocation. It's probably about $11,000. And I did, listen, I took some profit on Funfair and trophied it. And then I've put some more money. I DCA'd into it throughout like 2018 and 2019. But overall, I'm probably down. It's probably like my original investment is probably worth about about 2/3 of what it was, right? I haven't looked at it in quite a while. It's not where I put it. Yeah, so listen, there's some nice things about this chart that I like, right? Like on one hand, wow, look how high this thing went up at one point, and it's really, really cheap. But you're like, well, where's the strength? Where's the linear strength, right? This thing might look good on a log chart, but where's the linear strength? And overall, like Funfair has been able to break above resistance. It's triple top tier, lower high. Let's just forget that happened and let's just call this the high. Lower high, lower high, lower high. I'd like to see some strength. I really like Funfair. I think it's a good model, but it's like they're not even trying. They're moving. They underperformed. Look at Funfair here. They underperformed this market cycle, which is never a good sign to see. When you see even non-DeFi coins break their weekly resistances and come up and really push and go nice, really do well. And then you see DeFi's just vertical green line up to the sky because, hey guys, go back to 2017 and 2018. That's what happened over here with non-DeFi coins. DeFi is just the flavor of the month. Well, then you're like, man, I mean, this coin is not super, super strong. So I like Funfair. I like what they're trying to do, corner the gambling market and the online casino market, but they got to start announcing partnerships or something, dude. But yeah, I mean, I'm hodling. There's nothing to do. It's just this bag might make me rich someday, or it just is going to be something else that I talk about on stream that was unsuccessful, like Music Coin. It was Music Coin, by the way. I went back and researched that. That was one of the ICOs that I bought where I got rug pulled. All right, moving on. Let's go look at Bitcoin, guys. Not a whole lot to talk about today. Listen, what I came out and said on Monday is exactly what's going on. Let's start off by taking a dive on the weekly. We'll take indicators off and just look at price action. We had about 3 weeks of consolidation at our local resistance at $12,000. We broke down through that high amount of selling. I do believe this has flipped the weekly trend. I do believe we're going to continue correcting for another 4 to 8 weeks. So that is what is likely. That's what I'm trading. I'm short. I'm hedged. I hedged above 11,000, 70% of my account, and I am expecting price to go back to $10,000 to $8,000, or excuse me, 10.7 to 10.8 would be optimal hedging area. But again, 10.3, 10.4, 10.5, 10.6. These are all good areas to short and hedge from, or move into stable coins, or get into or utilize options, or utilize whatever your favorite hedging instrument is. And I know that people are going to see some green candles here and really want to flip like their overall prognosis of what they want to do. You guys are free to do what you want. But just like I said on Monday, I'm like, hey guys, the weekly is turning bearish. The daily had a big move to the downside and seems a little tapped out. So we're probably going to bounce from here, 10.7, 10.8. And if you want to play that, that's fine. But that's different from, oh, this is just a pullback. The market's going up. No. The market's correcting, and then it's going to keep going down, in my opinion. That's certainly what I'm doing with my money, certainly what I'm doing with my trading. So I'm not being very active with looking for positions. It's not a good thing to be very active with looking for positions when the market is largely moving down. For me, anyways, when the market's moving up, I'm pretty aggressive, like boom, 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 moving in and out of coins, because that's a good way to diversify and make money and kind of get the best of the upwards trend. And when things are moving down, I think the best thing is to get into your shorts and go away. Get into your shorts and go away. And then come back, play the bounces if you want. But when you play the bounces, you got to be tight. You got to be really tight. You got to be strategic. You can't fuck around. It's because it's not like the market is broadly moving up and you can be sloppy, right? Most people make a lot of money in altcoins because they're sloppy. They just buy altcoins and then they move up and they're like, oh yeah, look at me. It's not like trading in chop where you got to get in, you got to get out, you got to get in, you got to get out, or you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose your money if you don't get in and get out very tightly. So if you're trading to the long side right here on Bitcoin, be tight, be efficient, and just technical justifications for why we're going to bounce here. Bottom feeder algorithm signaling a local bottom, ISIS spot algorithm signaling a local bottom. CM Laguerre. We are on we got to an interrupted count on a 5 of 9, and then we're just color flipping here. So I'm expecting that bounce back to that 10.7 would be really, really nice at that point in time. And again, pivot reversal points right here as well. Pretty cool indicator from Cosload. Very similar to Bollinger Bands. We broke out here and we're just breaking back inside actually on today's close. So now getting back above 11,000 is going to be a little bit more bullish for me, and I'll feel kind of faked out and punked by the downwards movement. But again, you don't see bearish engulfing weekly candles that do not have follow through typically, sir. And we're on a 2 of 9 on TD sequential. It's very rare that we color flip on the weekly and don't get follow through. And of course, ISIS spot signaling the top here on the weekly 2 weeks ago. A week and a half ago now, almost 2 weeks. It is Thursday. Mr. Easter, thank you so much for coming along, brother. Let's see here. Let me get up to the chat here. Oh, we do have 101 viewers. Man, you guys just got, I like to think sometimes that you're just awed, right? By either my vernacular or my stupidity. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. What time is it? Let's take a... Oh, it's 106 already? Cool. Agency is unwrecked. It is the government watching, I'm sure. Spartacus 2020 says, buy sushi for less than $2 and then forget about it for a year. Mansix says, buy DOT and buy Kusama and stake it. That's the plan. Don't look at price, just do it. Yeah, I mean, that's aggressively thinking that DOT and Kusama are going to be successful, but certainly that's the way to do it. It's a good incentivization. Challenged investor says, not doing something is also making a decision. Don't get caught in analysis paralysis. Find a strategy and execute. That is what it is, my brother. CryptoRex says, I've been holding it for a few years also. Yeah, man. I mean, we're in it, dude. We're in it to win it, man. Like, funds it's either gonna win or it's gonna lose. Let's see here. Usual suspect asks, am I investing in Zilliqua? I do have listen, I wish it was larger actually, because I do quite like Zilliqua. And when I say I like Zilliqua, like, I like what they're doing certainly, but I also like the members of their team. So I don't want to, because I got a chance to spend like really close personal time with them, and I really enjoy them. And there's something I want to be careful that I don't mix like, oh, I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys, like, to, oh, I really should buy more of your token. So that's just a personal thing, but I do like Zilliqua, and I have a small position in Zilliqua, yeah. Martin says, everyone's only talking about things on Ethereum, not a peep about Bitcoin. Not to mention phase 0 coming up. My thoughts on ETH Bitcoin ratio. Listen, I think that there is a lot happening in Bitcoin. I have the honor of being a Bitcoin maximalist to a degree, not a toxic goddamn maximalist. Bitcoin is where everything's going to flood into. Ethereum is super cool, super fun. It's got some brilliant minds on it. I think that right now it's the darling. It's doing a whole lot of stuff, but people are missing the point, right? Ethereum right now, and what it's becoming is the definition of not your keys, not your coins, danger alert, danger Will Robinson, red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert. This is not the system where you want to have your wealth stored when the government turns tyrannical, right? And again, remember, guys, like, that's the big picture, okay? COVID, government lockdowns, digital dollars, there are some... Human society has faced the same problems over and over and over again for 30,000 goddamn years, and that's government tyranny. That's tyranny. It's oppression, right? Lack of liberty, oppression upon freedom, exploitation, murder, goes on and 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 on. And Bitcoin can change the game. Bitcoin is the first thing that in a huge way, not the first thing, of course, printing press, guns, karate, spoken, all of these things. All of these things have helped improve human liberty and freedom, right? But we got the same problems over and over and over again, which tends to be you get cartels that come in, start making laws for our protection, and then they take our stuff. And then that's okay for a while because, yes, with them there, it's safer. And, they're paying people to like keep everything nice and painted and upkept, and everything's pretty nice. And people are like, oh, wow, look at us. Society is amazing. We are the peak civilization. They thought it in Rome. They thought it in Greece. We think it in America. And eventually, that cartel gets bloated enough and arrogant enough that they're like, well, we'll just start hoovering up the little people's wealth. It happens over and over and over again, regardless of how you feel about, I'm conservative and I can understand that this is historical truth. So they start hoovering up all this wealth. And then eventually they get out of control. And then there's a war and people die. A lot of people die. So I would like to avoid that. And so Bitcoin can change the game because it's self-sovereignty to a degree that Ethereum is not and will never be. So Ethereum's awesome. It's amazing. But what it is, it's the traditional financial market put on a blockchain, right? A blockchain where they're like, oh, by the way, not only is this an experimental blockchain that's getting pretty clogged up and dealing with transaction fee sluggage right now, and the mempool is a dark forest, we also would like to fundamentally change the very nature and structure of this by switching to proof of stake. You guys cool with that? All right. $80 billion, let's roll. It's great. It's cool. It's a fantastic casino right now. But what I know is at the end of the day, all the wealth that I have in Bitcoin, that's not going anywhere. Try and do a $5 wrench attack on me. Come try. Hey, so, no. They still selling AR-15s at the Walmarts here in the Midwest? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thought so. All right. Bet. Let's get, so T-Dub lost $300 on BNB this AM. Let's look at something good. All right. Let's make $600. Listen, I think that, I don't know. I don't want to tell you guys to enter at resistance. I mean, I was very, very, I was very, very concise and consistent on everything I've said this week and the week prior to last week where I took a convalescence on my couch, which is I bought, I'm hedged at 11.3. We're down here. I'm along a little bit, and then I'm going to rehedge. And I didn't actually take off my hedge. I'm going to add to my hedge. I'm actually going to lever up my short just a little bit. I'm long BNB with the new launch pad. Seems like the ICO workaround. Any thoughts on Rari? New player in the NFT space. Not a single thought, my friend. But I'm always into new stuff, so let's put that on the list to investigate. Sorry, this is a new monitor layout, and I'm still trying to figure out everything and whatnot and blah, 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 and there we are. Caprica says, just rewatch 1984, see what's coming. Yeah, man. The double speak's already out there. Listen, there's multiple proposals in the United States Congress right now to have a digital dollar no later than January 1st, 2021. Okay? If you guys don't think this stuff is going to move quickly, you're wrong. These things are going to happen very, very quickly. So, for example, it took the Roman Empire 300 years to debase the silver denarii, right? It took the Federal Reserve 107. Okay? To the point where civil unrest was unavoidable. I'm very bullish on humanity. We adopt the best structures for moving forward. But we're at a crunch period right now. We're at a pivot point. What do I think about Polkadot heading into the future? I feel about Polkadot kind of like Ethereum back in 2016, right? The market's super different right now, man. Like, we're out there, we're so exposed. You really are expecting there to be this massive rush of capital from traditional markets into cryptocurrency. And the only problem that I have with Polkadot is I'm very wary of things that launch and then are just massively hyped, because real opportunities don't come like that often, right? Where, okay, let's just look into your own personal lives and study history. How many times has somebody come to you, or have you seen on the news or in a headline, biggest new thing, change the world, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's in your face, like how amazing something is, right? How often are they right? How often has that ever been true? Like, for me, almost never. Almost everything I've read in headlines or on the news or that people have told me, something that seemed like a no-brainer. No-brainers are usually stinkers. Almost always, in my experience in life. And also in my trading. So the things that people are like, hey, man, you got to buy the top 10. Okay, I bought the top 10 in 2016. Only like 3 of them are there now. For real, okay? And if you bought the top 10 in 2017, okay, 4 of them are there. See what I'm saying? So, when something launches with a lot of hype and goes right to the top of the market cap list, is it a good investment opportunity in general? Maybe. I like Polkadot, but is it good now? I don't know. I think the market's going to contract quite a bit. So no, I don't think really anything's probably a good long-term positional price right now. And you're going to be able to get just about all this DeFi stuff like 90% cheaper if you wait. I could be wrong about that. I certainly slept on DeFi before, so that's just my take on it. It's the things that you have to like find in the dark, and you like pick it up, and you're like, oh, what is this? Like 2012. Have you guys heard of Bitcoin? Nah, man, that's garbage, dude. It's gonna go to zero, man. Oh, look, Bitcoin hit $1,000, and look at it sink back down to 300. It's over, man. The dream's dead. I don't know. Like the white paper seems pretty cool. Have you guys actually read this? Nah, dude, that shit's garbage, man. Don't buy Bitcoin, dude. No, don't do it. That was a good one. Right? You know what I mean? And just about everything that I've invested in, I've had to do the work and find it and peel the layers across. And if I asked anybody, they would have said, nah, that's not a good investment. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Polkadot. I think it's cool. I don't want to badmouth Polkadot or Kusama, which is just a freaking testnet, for the love of God. But yeah, I mean, you got to, that's just what I think. That's what I think. Am I going to be investing in Polkadot? No, not at these prices. Like overall, I think I'd like to have a piece of it, but I'm certainly sitting on the sidelines. And I got a nice little DeFi bag, right? We're going to talk about that this weekend. Tenacious V says, Bitcoin equals self-reliance, less regulation equals freedom. Let me deal with my average stupidity. Yes. And when moon, I mean, certainly like 2033, right? Certainly by 2033. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Hadio. Usual suspect says the Illuminati is the enemy. Listen, if they were to send me an invitation, I'm gone, dude. You know, no offense. Like, you know, I'm all about human liberty and life and freedom. And if I get in, I feel like if I got in there, you know, I think the words we use are probably wrong. Certainly there's like some evil cabals, because I know there's syndicates and cartels that exist in cryptocurrency. Okay. Like, so the fact that they don't exist in government at the higher echelons of power, like, get out of here, dude. Conspiracies exist. There are groups of people. But the words we use are probably very wrong. So there's probably like some good ones out there. There's probably some bad ones out there. And I just hope that whatever like Illuminati invited me are like, listen, like we're not doing the human sacrifices or, you know, rapey stuff. You know what I mean? We just wear the masks and we do pray to the bird god. But we got a plan to make the world a better place. Put this chip inside your body. Okay. All right. And I get to, you know, and I get to be like pretty assured that like my grandkids are going to be super wealthy. I'm in. But, you know, people say, like, at what price would you sell your soul? Well, at the price that I can guarantee the future success of my liege, my generations, right? That's it. It's got to be a sure thing. For me, no, you couldn't give me enough money. But for my kids, and maybe this is so this is why, listen, guys, let me explain. It's a tangent. This is why, like, the Christ figures of history, like the Jesuses, the Buddhas, all those, they don't have kids. Because once you have kids, you're like, all right, yeah, I would burn the world down for this thing. Yeah. As long as you're like single and celibate and pure and disciplined and you don't have a child, you can be like, no, I would sacrifice myself for the world. Please allow me to absorb the world's sins. But the moment you have spawn, you're like, nah, fuck the rest of you. It's the kid. My thoughts on Plasm? None. I'm sorry. Not educated on it. Ask me about Offshift. All right. So we'll look a little bit deeper into sushi, and we looked at Bitcoin on the daily and on the weekly. Let's go look down at the LTFs and see what's going on, kind of projected for the day. All right. Let's look at. Oh, sorry, we didn't even talk about daily PTP. Daily PTP still has us in a bearish structure, of course, bearish trend. We do need to see price above 11,757 or 11,611 to even be contemplating. And then, of course, the invalidation zone for me, anyways, would be about 11.2, 11.1. If they were bringing a Fed coin, why wouldn't they just make BTC illegal? Because that's really hard to enforce. It would be extremely difficult to enforce. They could, and Bitcoin would probably not perform well, but it would be very, very difficult to enforce. And they don't really need to muscle in like that. I think that when they would muscle in like that, it would be kind of like too late. They would have to be too violent, too extreme. And depending on where it happens, see, here in America, like, we're armed, right? Like, that's the big X factor that people do not appreciate, right? Like, you know, I love the Second Amendment arguments, and I really feel for like the catastrophe that's caused by death, right? It's not guns, it's death, right? Because more guns are committed with honestly, anyway, moving on. But That's the only thing that we have going for us for liberty, right? Like that's the reason why Russia hasn't invaded the United States, or China hasn't. That's the reason why the government really has to kind of like tap foot around and really slowly manipulate us over years instead of just cramming tyranny down our throats, because we have guns. You can't just come in and mess with us. We will shoot you. The population is armed, and we have arms on equivalent nature with the military. So it's they can't use brute force. If they could, they would. If it was low risk for them to do so, then they would. And this is why they had to ask politely that people turn their gold in. They didn't go around with the SS to people's houses, knocking on doors and taking it like they did over in Nazi Germany, right? So, yeah, it's, if you just want one argument for why guns are good, it's so that bad people don't come in and take things from you. So that's the argument. And yeah, and I mean, look, the war on drugs is a absolute catastrophe. You know what I mean? Like, I don't use substances. In fact, I do my best to help those out who do have substance abuse problems. I feel very strongly for that. It's a passion project of mine in my local community. But what I will say is, the DEA has a model on how to reduce drug addiction, and it's throw people in jail. And that's not working. That's a terrible model. It hurts people. It ruins people's lives. It increases crime and increases poverty. It destroys human pride. And it is corrosive and malevolent for us to utilize that as a basis for our society. I'm a strong advocate of drug legalization. It's the best route forward. Let people deal with their own average stupidity and focus on treatment and education. That's the way forward, and that's how pretty much every successful society has reduced their drug and crime problem. Last time I checked, if you create black markets, you don't reduce the amount of criminals. If you create white markets, you create more middle class jobs. I don't know. It's crazy. Whatever I heard about 1930s Germany is a lie. I highly doubt that. Not everything I've heard about 1930s Germany is a lie. For example, they had a summer followed by a winter. You tell me that's a lie? You tell me that's a lie? David Rice, Justin, help me out. I need drugs. Hit me up in the DM. No, I'm just kidding. Exercise, man. Endorphins are the best drugs. Do some squats. Let's see here. Where are we at? Elf on a tear. All right, well, let's buy it. What is it up? If it's up less than 200%, we'll buy it right now. All right, let's go. All in. Fuck it. Hold on, wait. Let me measure. I said less than 200, right? Let's go. Pretty pegged out. Getting pegged. Let's see here. Well, listen, you guys know that you're not, listen, we're not allowed to buy these things, right? You certainly can, but good luck. I don't know what the catalyst is. I don't know who holds these things. So let's look at the weekly. The weekly went from pretty normed to redlined. Now, if this is sustained and we're going to move asymmetrically against the market, like IoT, well, almost dropped that bomb, but I'll wait until I buy it before I tell you. No, I'm just playing. But this does seem to be moving a little asymmetrically against the market. Again, everything's kind of moving up today, so it doesn't surprise me to see some overperformers. This is crypto. Where have you guys been? But yeah, I think the broader market direction is down. So since this is a risky setup anyways, the fact that I think the trend is down makes this like a double dog dare you risky setup. Yeah, you don't buy pumps, man. This is not your trade, right? Yeah, this thing can keep pumping up. Maybe that's your trade. But like, you didn't buy anywhere around here, wuss. Like, come on. You don't buy the brick. You don't buy the top. Don't be the wick. All right. Remember, like, find a good example. Anytime I see something like this, I just want to show people this, right? And I'm going to go to XRP USD on Coinbase, because many of you did. All right. I want to hit hard. Okay. Let's get in here. Okay. Oh, I just want to do. Oh, shoot. Unlike soybeans, which only know how to go up. We're going to remove indicators. All right, here's XRP USD. Weekly on Coinbase. Come on now. No. Let's get it on Bitfinex. Here we go. Bitfinex. That's what I'm looking for. That monster pump. Now, guys, somebody hit record because this should be a public service announcement. You see this? $3.30. Now we're gonna. What is that? 1st January 2018. We're gonna go down to the 1 second chart. No, we can't. It's not gonna let me go back that far. What if? Is it gonna let me go back maybe on the 15-minute chart? The last available bar. No, it's not going to let me do it on the 15. All right, whatever. We'll do it on the daily. Okay. All right, so I want to tell you guys a story. It's December 2017. You're in the cryptocurrency markets, and you are a fucking genius. That's right. Bitcoin has gone from 10,000 to 18,000 in 2 weeks. And you are flying on cloud nine. You are the smartest person in your household. Your wife, she doesn't even dare look at you. You're so smart. You are a golden god. A few days go by. Pretty big sell-off. You're still a genius, though. It's cool. Price is going to go back up. We slip into January. It's the new year. You know, it's cool. Now, XRP, USD, 4 days into the new year of 2018. This, look how cheap it is. It just went from $2 to $3 in like 36 hours. This thing's going from $3 to $9. Hell, this is going to do a Bitcoin. You are the smartest person in your household, and you're going to get rich buying XRP. And for one human person out there, for one human person, the price that they decided to actually buy was $3.30. Somebody bought XRP USD at $3.30. The smartest person in their household bought XRP $3.30. And let's look at how that story played out. You know, that story was about my friend named James, and I want to give a big shout out to James. He's no longer with us because you can't do that and live with yourself. Now, point of all that is that I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with ELF, but anytime you feel incentivized to buy a candle that looks like this, go to the XRP chart and just remember James's story. All right? Don't be the wick. XRP, making lower highs for 3 years. TM. Listen, we're not sponsored by Ripple, but Ripple, if you're watching, we make fun of your product. We'd be happy to get some free t-shirts up in here. We're going to take a brief break, guys. We're going to take a brief break, and we're going to, listen, just chill alert. We're going to chill the website, chill our products, chill our services. They're really good. I stand behind them. They're the effort of my life, but you guys can make your own rational decisions. Also, there's an affiliate link in there for Bybit, and it's an affiliate link. What that means is if you click on it at you can't click on it. You have to go down into the description or the comments later on to actually find it, but it's bybit.krakencryptocurrency.com. It's the exchange where I trade a lot of capital on. I don't promote things I don't believe in. If you click on that and utilize it, you will get like free $90 to trade with, but at no cost to yourself as well. The team will also make a portion of your trading fees, which you're going to pay anyways. But just letting you guys know, there's incentive. But it does support the channel. It helps us continue making good content, and it's better than buying a t-shirt. However, you should definitely go buy a t-shirt. They're cool. I don't have one on today, but they are good quality. Now, we're also going to take a look at a Bitcoin weather report. But when we come back, we're going to look at your chart requests and answer questions. And we're also going to talk about... Wait a second. Where is it? Where is it? Sorry. Now I can't find my schedule of stuff, cool stuff that I wanted to talk about. When we come back, we're also going to talk about $600 million in an encrypted Bitcoin wallet that is up for grabs. The IRS putting out a hit. Yeah, that's right. An assassination request on Monero. And Binance crashing, losing billions overnight. Dun, dun, dun. So don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back. Make sure to get the chat populated with your questions, and we'll get to those ASAP. Can't catch a break over on BitMEX with all the wicks? Try a better alternative at buybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com and rest easy for a change.
You know, I just try to do my best out here, and I mean, it's not like you guys give me an amazing amount to work with, but I mean, I'm still here, and I mean, look at it. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Is there no stop? Is there no end? I mean, some people say, see you on the moon, and I'm like, I f***ing hope so, because I don't want to breathe air anymore. Because this is getting exhausting. Back to you.
We made it. We did it. We're back. We're here. Long live James. Thank you guys so much for following along. Thank you guys for sticking through the break. I didn't really do much. I just drank some coffee and relaxed the old vocal coils. All right, so let's get into what we're going to talk about next. Prepared as always. Okay. Binance, leading crypto exchange, crashed for around an hour. Now, according to them, the outage was apparently caused by a gate issue. And I'm not talking gate.io. Now, CZ has said he's going to address this problem in a little bit more detail later on when they actually know what's going on. So earlier today, it was not possible to access the Binance platform via your browser or its mobile application. And of course, Panic, calamity, fear in the streets, dogs and cats sleeping together. Absolute pandemonium. Of course, it's not the first time this has ever happened, and Binance released a statement. No, I do not. We are aware of some temporary difficulties accessing Binance. And when they say, we're aware that people are having trouble accessing Binance. No, nobody can, dude. It's down. Fix your shit. Rest assured the team is working on it. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. Gateway issue team's on it, and the issue has been resolved. Site should be back to normal. So hopefully just a brief outage. But as Wook Chewy says, yeah, their finance is shutting down every week nowadays. Head for the door. Head for the door. BNB is going to pump. Now, what's more interesting than that is the IRS putting out a hit on Monero. So the IRS is actually incentivizing people to try and break the Monero network's famed level of privacy. And yes, I am just reading the headlines, but it's a Thursday. What do you guys want from me? So they're taking applications from people who think that they can break Monero's privacy. And $625,000 reward, they're really going to have to bump that up. They need to put a couple zeros at the end of that, but maybe not. For example, you guys know, or we covered this. Remember the Twitter hack that happened not too long ago? That was some kid sitting in his basement, mom's basement, maybe not, maybe dad's basement, right? There's single dads out there too. And, he was smart enough to spoof Twitter's entire security protocol. And of course, he gamed an individual who had an admin key, but of course it's the way the whole system was set up in the first place. And what did he make? He made like $100,000. So, yeah. Now, whether or not this is actually going to be successful or not, who knows? But just letting you guys know. Just letting you guys know. It's kind of like, just be aware that the barbarians are at the gates, and so if you see the barbarians, if you see the barbarians kind of shuffle in there, don't be surprised. So now, in addition to this is why you guys should learn to code or learn some skill. Not only is there a $625,000 prize there's a $690 million prize in a Bitcoin wallet that hackers are attempting to crack. So, let's see here. So, hackers have been putting time and resources to crack the password of a Bitcoin wallet holding 69,370 Bitcoin. This was kind of highlighted by Vice, who has some interesting BTC videos. It's one of the top 10 Bitcoin addresses, so it is a huge treasure chest. Apart from trying to break into the actual wallet, there's a file being shared that supposedly holds the wallet's private keys. It may not. The wallet is protected with a very long and unique password, and its wallet.dat file is encrypted using two algorithms that are very slow to process. So you really got to crank up that brute force. Just stop mining Ravencoin and turn those GPUs into pushing this. Bitcoin mining has gone offline so that we can apply all of our ASICs to run shots, so that we can run a brute force attack on this over and over and over again. Let's see here. All right, so CTO Alan Gall over there. I have tweeted from him before. He is the CTO of Hudson Rock. He tweeted that this was advertised on the Hacking Forum raid forums. It's being passed around between hackers crackers for the past 2 years. No success so far. I have the wallet. Google, hook me up with a quantum computer, please. Come on now. All right. So we'll see. We'll see. What do you think? So what do you think is going to happen if? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen to the market if somebody successfully cracks that password? Remember, we're not talking about the private keys. The private keys are out there, but it's the password to access the wallet. So if somebody cracks that password, now we're just talking about regular PC security right now. Regular security, password cracking, not spoofing elliptic curve cryptography, which is so far not doable. Now, of course, there is a chance that the wallet doesn't actually hold the files, and this is just a big, to do about nothing. But hey, what else are you going to do with your time? Learn to trade? Who wants to do that? Who wants to actually buy things and have something that works right in front of them? Much better to just chase that fairy tale moonshot. So, if anybody would like to donate a quantum computer to the team, hit me up. We will gladly share. I mean, heck, I'd share 80% of that with whoever provided the quantum computer. I'll sit here and manage, direct the work. Of course, anybody that had a quantum computer wouldn't need a manager, but saying if you do. Like if you happen to have a quantum computer, but you don't really know, if you just don't want to take the time to like turn it on and point it at something, I got you. All day long. That's about it for latest to-dos in the news. And we talked about Bitcoin. Let's take a brief look at Ethereum. And then I'm going to throw up some trades that have done very well for us lately. Give you guys kind of an idea of what the group is doing. And then we'll look at your chart requests and answer your questions. All right, so Ethereum, really no divergence here from BTC USD, looking pretty similar. Weekly PTP does have us in a bullish trend until Ethereum's price drops below 254.03. Having said that, since the weekly is in a bullish trend here on PTP, we would wait for either a reversal within the trend opportunity here on the daily, which we don't see yet at this point in time with this PTP structure, or we would wait for actual continuation, which would be priced back above 468. In this sense, I would be looking for reversal within the trend opportunity. Again, bottom feeder signals indicating price up to about 401. I think that's a tradable bounce. ISOspot didn't really get oversold here. However, we got to that 6 of 9 on TD sequential and color flipping to that 2 of 9. So the 2 of 9 is a good initiation right there, kind of looking to play this breakout. And of course, we are trading with a higher high, and we're going to close the daily above current resistance. You're on it, T-Dub. You are correct. Yes, it is. And very similar, price going outside the pivots and closing back inside, kind of like a Bollinger Band strategy. So again, tradable bounce up to about 400, but then I would presume more downside. And then I'd be looking broadly for that reversal baseline bounce opportunity would be my first opportunity, looking around that $254 mark, meaning another $100 decline in price for Ethereum. So pretty steady as she goes. Looking at the broader markets. Ooh, where's, I usually have crypto bubbles. CryptoBubbles.net is the place to be, ladies. 170% on ELF. Man, you got to buy that. Sushi down 22%, buying opportunity. Let's see here. Let's see where we at on the week. So on the week, as we can see, the broader market is down. Kusama getting smashed almost 50%. Sushi down almost 70% for the week. YFII, Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi E, the Wi-Fi I. Serum down 35. Polkadot down 30. Balancer, Band, Ren, Compound, Reserve Rights, Ample, all the big meme tokens, all getting hit pretty hard. The only thing that's up is Celsius and ELF. And Loopring actually doing pretty well. Loopring was a trade that we actually called for the group. So overall, looking at the weekly trend, we can see that things are still turning to the downside, not yet to the upside, except for some random pumps in between, meaning that it is not yet just safe to just buy and hold because things are overall moving down. Last day, we have a pretty good day in the markets so far. Algorand performing a little asymmetrically to the market, and Loopring as well. Aragon, a lot to do about that, and of course EGLD as well. Again, Celsius and ELF are the major performers. I would say ELF is probably a little overextended. Loopring and Celsius are probably worth looking at. And then, of course, there's a few other bits and bobbles that I'm interested in personally. But overall, I'm just holding the DeFi positions that I have, and I'm largely hedged. I think that's the trade. You don't need to be too active. You just need to get it right. Let's look at... All right, so let me go look at the requests and get them in order. ELF, we already looked at. THETA, BNB USDT. All right, starting off on the weekly here. And we'll just take these off. BNB USDT, not that massive sign of capitulation that we did see from Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are the bellwethers for the entire market, at our previous level of weekly resistance and currently making a high close, but we do have a high here of about $27 to overcome. So still a bit more ways to go. Overall, BNB doing pretty well in the upper echelons of its price appreciation as it's been listed on Binance so far. Let's go see if we have any other kind of warning signs of reversal here. Yeah, so perfected 9 here with the DeMark reversal sell, overbought ISOspot here. Don't have the largest plethora of data here, but we are over the pivot points. Yeah, so this looks a little overextended to me. I'm not going to lie on BNB. I know Alex is quite good on this. So what I will say is that this can continue to get pegged and appreciate if the market broadly moves up. I don't think that it is, so I would be remiss if I told you to sell here. I would look for a buying opportunity closer to $16 or $17 once the market breathes and pulls back here a little bit. About 30% correction to the downside. Let's look on the daily and see what the daily is telling us. Well, we are getting a reversal doji, but with one of those really rare continuation bottom feeder signals, but again, at resistance as well. Bottom feeder saying we might actually push up to that $27 mark. So can we go up and retag previous resistance? That would be a low risk trade that one can try, really trying to trade this breakout. Not the trade for me. No, sir, not today. So I would largely pass this one by for the swing trade. How are we looking on the hourly? What can we do on the hourly here? Yeah, I don't really see a buying opportunity on the hourly here. I'd wait for a bottom feeder. I'd wait for ISIS spot to get down here and give us some kind of continuation. And this just has been trending up for a little bit. I'd like to see a little bit more of a pronounced correction here, maybe down to $23. Maybe we could pick this up on the daily. Unless we can play this pivot. Might be able to play this pivot if we can get a get a couple more big red bars. We might be able to see a pop back up to about 25. This doesn't really look like something that I don't see a position coming up in the next 2 to 3 hours unless we get some nice big dumpage down here to, again, that 23.50 area, and then maybe we could take that to the upside for an intraday lower time frame trade. But I don't see anything right now. CRO. So again, I did the early bird special. I converted my MCO into CRO, and converted my MCO into CRO. However, CRO has pretty much gone nothing but straight up. And here we have, just as Bitcoin did, putting in that first big bearish engulfing weekly candle, coming off a perfected 9, breaking down below back into the pivots. We're on a 2 of 9 now, so I would largely look at this thing just like with Bitcoin, probably 4 to 8 weeks of pullback here on CRO. Let's look at the daily. We are going to have a local little bounce here on the daily. As we can see, we've got overextended, oversold daily chart here. Bottom feeder signal. This is looking for price to move up to about 16.50, 16 cents, 16.5 cents. So that's certainly a tradable bounce right there. But just remember that you're kind of trading counter trend, so you need to be tight with that overall to trade. The long bias perspective is to kind of certainly wait for this to cool off more, maybe 20 to 30% more to the downside. Zach Coma for the Dixie. We got you, man. The Dixie is going to bounce, guys. It's going to bounce harder. Look where we're at. Perfected 9 on the weekly here. DeMark buy, weekly bottom feeder signals, weekly buy signal from ISIS spot, weekly overextended and buy signals from CM Laguerre. The Dixie's going to recover here, guys, at least to 95.72. It's going to be a big move. Forex pairs that are trading, that are long the dollar, long the yen, are going to prosper, are going to profit. And you're going to see most assets correct in the wake of the Dixie moving up. It's a flight to safety. This is why I'm so confident when I tell people, like, I don't care how far price goes up. Like, it's unlikely to continue going up. There is going to be asymmetric movers in the market, but the asset prices are going to correct in the wake of the dollar strengthening. Like, this is the way the world works. DMG BTC. On Poloniex. Whoa, no comments. Okay. DMG. DMG's cheap since its launch on Uniswap. So we've gone down from $1 down to like 55 cents. We got like a 50% correction. Let's see where it really launched here. Let me get more data. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me now, damn it. I'm not going to be able to get any good data on something this. DMG. Why is it? Is it DMM or DMG? So it's DMG on... It's DMG on FTX, but it's DMM everywhere else. %, circulating. There's a whole lot to dump. $26 million market capitalization. Decent volume. Down 50% in the last month. Down another 10% today. Users of the DeFi money market ecosystem can earn 6.25% interest on their DAI and USDC by depositing them into their ecosystem and holding the corresponding MDAI and MUSDC assets. So, I mean, nothing different from, listen, Yearn Finance is killing these guys. That's probably why they're not doing too well. And they're going to let you do meth. Yeah, meth for everybody. Hogwash. Holders. Unique senders have gone down. Unique receivers have gone down. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I don't like it based on what I'm seeing. Price is pretty cheap, probably for a reason. Maybe a sign of strength here. Let's see if we can get a lower high, or excuse me, a higher low. This is a nice little spring right here. Boom, 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 boom. Nice 3 drives down and pump. Let's see if we form a lower high. And again, just based off dynamics, we might be able to see this thing push back up. I wouldn't go for this retest of support off a tight trade. I would go for about 63 to 65 cents on a price target if we can scoop this up around 53, 52. I want to see this thing hold above 50 cents. If we bottom above 50 cents, then if we bottom above 50 cents, then I would look for the reversal trade back up here to resistance. And then if that looks promising on the pullback, I'd buy the dip. Maybe we can take this thing higher. But as far as swing trading this thing, I'm not going to be buying and holding this. Moving on. HBAR for Caribbean Crypto Show. Let's see here. Hedera hash graph is the baby. I like Hedera. But is it time to buy back in? I don't know. Not really. Look, we formed this range between about 3 cents and resistance around 6 cents. Just unable to really get over that. I would really like to see a break. This Hedera is a great project. Any break of about 3 cents, I would like to try and accumulate here. But I'd like to wait for the bottom too. We're on a 2 of 9, so coming off that 6 count, that interrupted 6 count to the upside. And I'd like to see us actually break down. We broke the pivot here. We're trading back up above it. Give this thing 4 to 8 weeks and see if we can't scoop it up lower. Looking at the daily, again, the daily is going to bounce right here. 7 of 9, 2 of 9 right now in the green count. Overextended buy signal from ISIS spot. Yeah, we're probably going to push back up here. Maybe to 4, maybe even 4.5 cents. But I don't think higher than that on this push up. This is called a bounce. It's called a correction and a bearish trend. You short those. And if you're going to long the dips, you got to be very tight. Be very tight. Unless you're planning on holding this for a while. Then when you DCA, you wait until price gets extended buy, and you buy more the lower you go down. This is how you accumulate a bag at a good price. EGLD, I don't have any information for you with regards to knowing more about it. I know that ERD, of course, did the EGLD, and I think that Elrond is a good project, but also there is a big selling incentivization because this is brand new. On the daily, or excuse me, just down the hourly, right? I think EGLD is probably good to buy, but again, I think that the majority of the market is going to correct 30 or 40%, so you're going to be able to buy it cheaper if you're looking to buy and hold. So, but just looking for trades on intraday, because that's all we really have available to us right now. Bottom feeder would seem to suggest that we can come up here and tag 1462. This particular candle is getting eaten up quite a little bit right here at support. So I'd say that's a very low risk tradable bounce to 1462, but that's all I really see. All right. That's about it, guys. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the chart request. Let's see what else we got here. There you go. York, you're the man. RSR. Well, let's go get more data on RSR, because RSR has been around quite a while. Well, does that look like a chart you want to buy? I think RSR is going to come down more. Look at that big weekly correction on the week. Look at that big weekly correction. Huge initiation of sell side volume. That's likely going to have some follow through. Now, we're probably overextended on the daily, just like everything else. So yes, everything's bouncing, just like we said was going to on Monday. So maybe RSR can come back up here to about 2, maybe even 2.5 cents. RSR has been pretty an overperformer. So it wouldn't surprise me if they really pushed it up to sell down. Yeah, I think, I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big fan of RSR. I've got an interview with one of their evangelists. I think it's available on the YouTube. And just, overall, my kind of takeaway from the project was like, you guys got really good marketing, but I don't really think the project is like fantastic in and of itself. That's just my personal opinion. So it's not something that I feel comfortable, like, let's say, investing in or positionally, or, and obviously I didn't positionally trade it. I picked up a little bit of RSR following San Francisco Blockchain Week, but nothing to call home to mom about. So that's done well for me. But again, that's just time and opportunity and maybe inside information. I don't know. Damn, the SEC is after me now. Yeah, I think just be patient, man. I think just be patient. I think something that I say a lot is don't buy the first dip. And this is certainly the midst of the first dip. I think we can trade the first dip, but I wouldn't. There's a difference between, words. When you say, hey, man, buy wherever you like, price is broadly going to go up. Well, that's not where we're at. If you're going to buy here, be willing to sell relatively tightly. And I think if you want to buy and hold and not be stressed out about it, it's what I'm saying is be prepared for the potential that we're in June 2018, right? Or March 2018, relatively, right? THETA Bitcoin. I like THETA. I would not be opposed to holding THETA, and THETA is moving asymmetrically against the rest of the market. So I think THETA, very similar to a few other pairs, can actually push up. We're on a 5 of 9 here. We're actually close to breaking above the pivot at about 5,000 sats, which would be beautiful to see. The daily is actually potentially breaking up here. Yeah, because we had this nice period of consolidation and then push to the upside. Still a lower high, which is concerning. But if you were going to try and trade this potential breakout, which you don't have confirmation of yet, you might be going for this. Kind of coming off being overextended. This isn't a chart I like to buy. I hate buying breakouts. Talked about this at length in the mentoring session yesterday. So I would avoid THETA buying at this price, but it's possible. It's possible that we do continue to push up and we move asymmetrically against the rest of the market, or that THETA just happens to do really well for a week or two. Unlikely though. Gate.io is where I'd buy THETA. Out Behind the Barn by Little Jimmy Dickens, please. All right, what time is it? It is, it's time to go, guys. It's 1:58. Let's get bouncing. Whew. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Breaking Bitcoin. I've been your host, Justin Wise. I really appreciate all the questions, the comments, the concerns, the sarcastic remarks, the death threats. All of those things are amazing to get every single day. Please drop them down in the comment section. Now, as far as the WSOT shirt, I saw somebody ask about that. We're going to be giving that away, and I've already solicited. Only one person left rap lyrics. You guys disgust me. You got opportunities for everybody to win the shirt, but only one person posted some rap lyrics. So I can't think of what your name is. I'm sorry. I knew it yesterday, but you're going to win. I'm sending the shirt to you. So I'm going to be posting a message here on YouTube, calling you out, the person who left the rap lyrics. And you win. No need for a vote. No need for anything. We've got glasses left. We've got the Necronomicon Rubik's Cube. And we've got the really cool bag. We'll be giving those away over the course of the next few weeks. We'll probably do one a week. That way we can have some fun with it. But as far as the shirt, the rapper in the audience won. By the way, this is a tangent. I was thinking about the song House of the Rising Sun the other day. Let me know if you guys like this lyrics, right? Like, now the only thing a DJ needs is a ledger in the trunk. And the only time he's satisfied is when his bags are pumped, right? I think that's a good start to a good song. I'm going to play with it, right? I got a drum kit, bass guitar, amps, speakers, guitars over here. Got all the stuff that I need to do it crypto, little bubble style. Boom. Wally, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. Unless I'm wrong when I look at our comments, you know what I mean? I only saw one person actually post rap lyrics. It wasn't even you, bro. We will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time for another episode. There will be links in the first comment down below to things that will help you out. Affiliate links, most of them, you click on them, helps out the channel, helps you out at no cost to yourself. If you guys are interested in what we do as a company, including our premium signal service, our indicator suite, our mentoring, our signals, and our online trading academy, then make sure to check out everything that we do at premium.krakencryptocurrency.com or krakencryptocurrency.com just to get more acquainted with us. And of course, make sure to join the Discord. It's the place to be. Lower thirds if you guys want to follow us on the socials. Pretty active over there on Twitter, where I mostly just shitpost and talk about DeFi. Wally says, I'll just buy another CC shirt. You know, we're going to do a facelift of the stuff that we have there. So while I certainly will not tell you not to do that, what I will say is that if you wait a few weeks, there might be some really cool new designs and patterns on there because we have a new logo coming. Dun, 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 dun. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, trade safely and be excellent to one another, guys. We're all in this together. Cheers.